Hello, welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be looking at the reasons why I like to use the crab walk exercise, which is me doing this right here, and why I like to superset this with a Swiss ball hip extension right at the very beginning of a workout, regardless of age or abilities, but even more so I like to use this for people with significant weakness or injury or pain with the knee, the back, or the hip itself. So I'll go into the reasons why I like to use this and explain also why it's not really as effective later in the workout, but more effective at the beginning. So as a pure strengthening exercise, not really the best choice, but there's better ones you can use. All right. So if I just go back, play it from the beginning. So firstly, with the crab walk, I like to do it this way, where I have the band over the knees. Some people have it around the ankles, prefer it around the knees because it places more stress on the hip because it's much closer to it. So I'm really targeting the glutes in a big way. So because it has that abduction movement, which is the bit where I move my leg right out here, so that point there where I'm having to move my hip out to the side this way, and simultaneously as I'm moving and then I hit my foot hits the ground, I go back. So I end up getting two movements that the glutes are pretty much designed for, which is abduction and extension. So normally we might just do one, but I'm doing both at the same time, and because I have the resistance on the abduction, which is usually the harder part, I'm getting a big bang for my buck in the glutes there. Now I'm also because I've got that extension where I'm really sitting, it's almost a squat but not really. It's probably arguably more a deadlift than a squat. Alright, so I've got a minimal amount of movement going into the quadriceps and hamstrings, although they are definitely involved. I'm really emphasizing the glutes. Alright, so it's a great way to prepare people for, if I just go back again, for that. So specifically when I'm doing lunges and single leg movements, that when this foot hits the ground, that it aligns well. So what I mean by is this stays in its nice alignment and we don't have any knee collapsing inwards, right? Because that's often what we will see when they're completing single leg things, and it's the reason why they have their knee pain, why they have their hip pain, or even presenting into the back, because they won't be able to use their hips effectively enough to pick objects up or provide propulsion in walking and standing and things like that, right? So it's a great preparation drill, getting the body ready for the harder movements to come. Now, the reason why I'll use the hip extension, which is what I'm about to do here, is this is much simpler. There's actually very little movement, but it creates the big overload. Right, so the crab walk, you don't necessarily feel it that difficult to do with the glutes itself, but in this hip extension you will. All right, so this just creates that extra overload. So I'm basically just doing the extension part, but the abduction is still on the go because I've still got the band and I'm pushing the band apart with my knees, or my knees are actually not doing it, but my glutes are pushing this band out. All right, which is exactly what I need to do when I'm doing squats, deadlifts. So I'm more or less doing a squat and deadlift, but I'm just horizontal. So the force that's being generated through that is massive. All right, so I can get like a huge overload without the compression and or problems that are associated with all the standing movements. I've got no load other than my body weight and the resistance band. All right, so it's very good at the beginning, like I said, because it prepares me for the movements I'm most likely to struggle with. And now, as I said in the beginning, it's not really that effective as a pure strengthening thing because it doesn't really demand a lot of stability because I've got 2 feet on the ground. It doesn't really generate that much extra muscle because I'm not really applying load or speed or deceleration as much as I would with other things. But its purpose is to prepare me for things to come. So a really useful drill, even if you have no pain, extremely effective at getting you ready for the things to come in your workout. All right, so I hope that this video sort of gives you a better understanding of the purpose of this drill. Also, doing the hip extension on the ball is better than on the floor because I have a further range to move through, so you can sort of see when I'm doing that. If I just play it again, you'll see how much I'll move further through the up and down, or if I'm on the floor I'll have a minimal range. So it's a much greater range, which gives me, especially that bottom point, a bigger stretch on the glutes, which kind of makes them feel weaker. All right, so yeah, I hope that this video just gives you a better idea of how to use that, and you only really need to do one set. I might do maybe 15 to 20 reps of the crab walk and maybe 10 reps of the hip extension, and that might be all I need to do, and I might need to do it again until the next workout. All right, so yeah, I hope you enjoy that, and we'll see you next time.